This is the story of the Lemon Princess from Magical Tales from Many Lands, retold by Margaret Mayo, illustrated by Jane Ray. Once in those faraway times when toads had wings and camels could fly, a king and queen had an only son called Prince Omar. The day came when they decided he must do what every other prince does. He must find a beautiful girl and marry her. So Prince Omar looked for a beautiful wife, but, and it was a big but, he could not find a girl who was beautiful enough. One day an old woman came to him. "My lord prince," she said, "let me tell you about a princess, an exceedingly beautiful princess, whose face has yet not been touched by the sun. She's the one you seek. She is your fate." "And how can I find this beautiful princess?" he asked. "You must ride eastward for 3 days and 3 nights," said the old woman. "Then you will come to a garden surrounded by roses with a lemon tree in it that bears only 3 ripe lemons. Pick the lemons, but be very careful not to cut them until you come to a place with plenty of water." The next morning, Prince Omar mounted his horse and set off. He rode eastward for 3 days and 3 nights until he came to a garden with a hedge of roses growing around it. He opened the gate and walked in. It was not long before he found the lemon tree with its 3 ripe lemons. So the prince picked them and rode back the way he had come. Now, he had not gone far before he began to wonder what was inside those lemons. He chose one, took a knife, and cut it open. Then rose from the lemon an exceedingly beautiful girl. "Water," she called out. "Please give me water." But there was no water anywhere around. The next moment, the girl simply faded away and was gone. It was not long, however, before he began to wonder about the other lemons and whether there were girls in them also. So he chose another one and cut it open with his knife. And there rose up from that lemon a girl who was even more beautiful than the first, and she too called out, "Water, please give me water." But again, there was no water anywhere around, and this girl also faded away and was gone. "I see now that I must take great care of my 3rd lemon," said the prince, and with that, he went on his way. After a while, he came to a river, and remembering the old woman's advice, he took the 3rd lemon and cut it open. And there rose up a girl who was even more beautiful than the 2 who had come before. Her eyes were as gentle as the moon, her skin as pale as ivory, her long black hair as soft as silk. She too called out, "Water, please give me water." Well, Prince Omar was so anxious not to lose this beautiful girl that he took hold of her and dropped her in the river. Just like that, she drank the clear, fresh water until she was satisfied, and then she climbed out, naked though she was. The prince took off his cloak and wrapped it around her. "My beautiful lemon princess," he said, "you and you alone shall be my bride. But before I take you to the palace, I must go and bring you fine clothes to wear and a horse to ride. Then I shall hide in this tall poplar tree until you return," said the lemon princess. And with that she called out, "Bend down, tall tree, bend down." Immediately the tree bent down. The lemon princess seated herself on the topmost branch, and the tree stood tall again. Then the prince rode off. Time came and time went, and the lemon princess sat high in the tree and waited. Before long, a servant girl, an ugly girl, with mean eyes, tangled hair, rough skin, and cracked lips, came to fill a water jar at the river. As she bent down, she saw the face of the beautiful lemon princess reflected in the clear water. "There, see how beautiful I am," the servant girl cried. "I always knew I was far too beautiful to be a servant." Then she heard someone laugh, and a voice called out, "Look up, not down." The servant girl looked up, and when she saw the lemon princess sitting at the very top of the poplar tree, she said, "What are you doing up there in that tall tree?" The lemon princess answered, "I am waiting for my bridegroom, the royal prince, to return with fine clothes for me to wear and a fine horse for me to ride." Then the servant girl thought some wicked, evil thought. "Oh, lady, lovely lady," she said, "let me come up and talk to you and help pass the weary hours while you wait." Now, the lemon princess had grown a bit lonely, so she said, "Bend down, tall tree, bend down." The tree bent down, and the servant girl was soon among the topmost branches. "Oh, lady, lovely lady," said the servant girl, "who are you with your magic powers? Are you human or are you a houri?" The lemon princess answered, "I am a houri, and I have chosen to enter the world of humans and to become the lemon princess." The servant girl said, "Oh, lady, lovely lady, let me comb your long black hair." And she began to comb the lemon princess's hair, and as she did, she found a hairpin stuck deep in the princess's shining locks. "Oh, lady, lovely lady, what is this?" she asked. "It is my talisman," said the lemon princess. "Do not touch it." Immediately, the servant girl pulled out the hairpin, and the lemon princess changed into a white dove, which flew away in a flutter of wings. The servant girl took off her own clothes and threw them into the river below, where they floated away. Then she wrapped the princess's cloak around herself and waited. Now, when Prince Omar returned and saw the ugly servant girl in the poplar tree, he was amazed. "What has happened?" he cried. "You've changed. Your skin is now creased and rough." "It was the sun, my lord," she said. "The scorching sun burned it." "But your lips that were soft as flowers, what about them?" "It was the wind, my lord," she said. "The hot, dry wind cracked them." "But your eyes that were so large and gentle." "It was the tears, my lord," she said. "The tears I wept when I thought you would never return have made them red and swollen." "But your hair that was soft as silk." "It was the black crow, my lord," she said. "The black crow tried to build a nest in my hair, entangled it, and made it rough." Then the servant girl climbed down from the tree. "Time is a great healer, my lord. Soon I shall be as I was before," she assured him. Prince Omar believed her, so he gave her beautiful clothes to wear, baggy trousers, blue as the summer sky, a white silk blouse embroidered with pearls, a jacket of gold thread, gold slippers, and a gold headdress and gold bracelets. Together they rode off to the palace. Wow. When the prince took the servant girl to the king and queen, they saw at once how ugly she was. "This is your chosen bride? Surely not," was what they said. "I have given her my word," the prince replied, "and in 40 days our marriage will be celebrated." Now, there was a garden around the king's palace, and before long a white dove began coming every morning to sit upon a saddlewood tree and sing. And every day Prince Omar came and stood beneath the tree and listened. And every day he said, "How sad is the song the white dove sings." As soon as the servant girl noticed this, she went to the gardener. "The prince commands you to catch this white dove that sings the sad song in the saddlewood tree. You are to kill it and bury it deep in the ground." The gardener did as he was told. He killed the bird and buried it. But the next day, at the very place where the dove was buried, there stood a great cypress tree, and the wind came and sighed in its branches. When the prince saw the tree, he was astonished. "What wonder is this?" he said, "a giant cypress where no tree stood before." When he heard the wind sighing, he said, "How sad is the sound of the wind in its branches." When the servant girl observed this, she went again to the gardener. "The prince commands you to cut down the cypress tree and make from its woods a cradle for the son I shall give him. Take any wood that remains and burn it." The gardener did as he was told. He cut down the tree, and carpenters cut the woods into planks and made a cradle. Then the gardener gathered all the bits of wood that remained and built a fire. He was just going to throw the last branch onto the flames when the prince's old nurse came by and asked the gardener for some firewood. And he gave her the small branch from the cypress tree. The old nurse took the branch, put it down beside her fireplace, and then went off to the market. But the moment she shut the door, the branch shivered and trembled all over, and soon it had changed into the girl. She was an exceedingly beautiful girl, the lemon princess herself. Straight away the princess set to work. She swept the floor, she washed the dishes, she peeled the vegetables and prepared a meal. Then she hid behind a door. When the old nurse returned home, she was very surprised. "Who has done all this? Are you a human or a spirit?" she said. The lemon princess came out from her hiding place and she said, "I cleaned for you and I cooked for you. Now please, will you do something for me? Go to Prince Omar and tell him that there lives in your house a girl who can make fine carpets, and if he will give you silk threads, you will make him the finest carpet ever seen." So the old nurse went and spoke to the prince, and he ordered that she should be given silk threads and anything else that was needed. The lemon princess took the needle and thread and set to work. Time came and time went. At last the day arrived when Prince Omar was to marry the wicked servant girl. She had not changed. She was as ugly as ever. But the prince said to himself, I have given my word, so I must marry her. Truly, she must be the lemon princess. Who else could she be? But early on the morning of the wedding day, the old nurse took the beautiful finished carpet and went to the prince and said, My lord prince, here is your wedding gift. Prince Omar unrolled the carpet and he looked and looked again. The princess had woven a picture of a garden surrounded by roses. In the center of the garden was the figure of the lemon princess herself. Who made this carpet? The prince quickly asked. A girl who lives with me, answered the old nurse. Bring her to me at once, commanded the prince. So the lemon princess came to the palace, and the moment Prince Omar saw her, he knew her. Truly, he said, you alone are my beautiful lemon princess, my fate, the one who must be my bride. But tell me, where have you been? What happened to you these long and weary days? Then the lemon princess told Prince Omar about the wicked servant girl and her evil deeds. The prince was angry and sent his guards to find the servant girl, but as soon as she heard that she had been discovered, she ran right off, and she kept on running at least until she crossed into the next kingdom. Some say she's running still. Then at last, there was a wedding, and Prince Omar married the beautiful lemon princess. The celebration lasted for 7 days and 7 nights, and there was feasting, dancing, and great merriment for all. The end.